are you? It's Wednesday, Kate.
It
is Wednesday, yes. We can tell the days of the week. I'm getting better at this. Today I said we were going to talk about Dunvilles. Dunvilles. They're actually one of the few brands that send me t-shirts that fit me. Actually, we did have to go to collect these ones. These are the new ones that they have, and they've got like the logo on the back and all. They're really nice, and they fit me well and all that sort of stuff. Now, I think they are extra jumbo sizes.
I don't think so. No, I think only because they do men's and ladies.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. Well, look, I think it was Seamus Oak that give me this one. Seamus and Mr. McGuinness, Stephen McGuinness, give me this one as well. So there you go. Jarlath gives me nothing ever. Today, as I said, we were talking about Dunvilles. Look, rightly so, they really done exceptionally well at the Irish Whiskey Awards at the weekend. No, they've done, and it was one of the things that when I was talking to the guys about, we were sort of saying, look, it's a great confirmation of what they've been doing. I mean, they've won some awards before. The PX10 won it before. Then the PX12 won it, and then this year again the PX10 won it again. So it's a sort of reaffirmation of how good their whiskey is. And I mean, I think that's one of the things that's going to stand to them. We all know how good it is. I mean, I've been a fan of them from the early days, tasting the whiskey. It's unbelievable what they've done with it. And I mean, again, look, they started off with good distillate. Nobody knows where they got the distillate from. It might have been a couple of distilleries around this area or up north. But what they've done with it in just picking the right time when it's been in a barrel, they've really excelled at being that Oloroso, that sherry bombs that and I know from talking to Jarlath and to Graham and them where their influences come. It's the Glendronachs, it's them big sherry bombs in Scotch whiskey, and I think that they've set themselves up to be them guys here in Irish whiskey as well. So well done. They've the 21-year-old. That is the new one. It's not out yet. It was for the Chinese market. If you were at Whiskey Live, they did have a sample of that underneath the counter as well. I have tasted it since. It is just deserving of being Whiskey of the Year. But also the 20-year-old winning the over 16 single malts. The 10-year-old, the 12-year-old winning the other single malts. They won 7 awards in total between top of the class and then some gold awards as well. So it really is deserving. The truth of the matter with Dunvilles, and I've said this for a while, is their quality and their appreciation with whiskey lovers doesn't match their secondary market price.
No.
And it's a weird juxtaposition they're in, because they produce some fantastic whiskies. They have done some of these single cask products for establishments. So the Palace Bar was the first of the green labels that they done. There's the Carryout Killarney. There's the Celtic Whiskey Shop. James Fox is probably still one of my favourite whiskies that they have. I think the James Fox one can be still bought. €325. It just defies me when people are paying a lot more money for not as good whiskey.
Yeah.
I know not everybody can buy a €300 bottle of whiskey and drink it, but if you get an opportunity to do a bottle share, or if you're in small groups with guys, buy a bottle. Trust me, you will thank us, because it really is fantastic. But then you have the 12-year-old PX series, the single cask series that's coming out. This one is the latest one that was only released last Friday, I believe. We already have some of them in for forward shipping on to our pals in the US, and that is one of them there. Another just sherry bomb from Dunvilles. So if you do get a chance to taste them, absolutely do. One of the things that we've done in tastings, is I'll use the Three Crowns peated, or I'll use the Dunville's 1808. So this Dunville's 1808, I remember when it came out, just for the collectors and for the nerds in you, it's got a grey cap. And so that was one of the first batches that came out. I think there's only about 150, 200 bottles or something like that of it. It was really low. The new cap is a different colour. I think it's a black cap, actually, like the rest of them. But the grey cap ones was for the nerds amongst us that have everything. I have the unenviable position of owning probably everything that they've produced so far. I think there's one that I haven't bought so far, and I'll discuss the elephant in the room. It's the price point of it. It's the Temple Bar one.
Yeah.
It was expensive. I mean, there's no, it is expensive. Now, it's bloody good whiskey, so there is an element of that. You can't sort of negate it, but I haven't got round to buying that yet. I'll sort of pluck up the courage one day and I'll go up and I'll knock and ask them any chance of a bit of a discount and see do I get anything on that.
See if you give me a £5 a week.
See can we give them a £5 a week. So going forward, I think these awards should really sort of cement people's thought process that Dunville's is a quality brand. I mean, what they've done with it, I remember, and I've listened to, we've been lucky enough to be at a few of their official tastings, and you listen to the story of when they sat down and said, are we going to take on this brand? And if we are, we're going to do it justice.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it, we're only literally guardians of the brand for now. We don't own it. We're only protecting it for future guys. And I think they've really delivered on that. I really do think that they've delivered on that. And I think it's something that they should be proud of down there. I mean, they've done some cracking whiskies. We brought the whiskey bus to us. I think it was a consensus that it was probably one of the greatest days on the whiskey bus.
Yeah.
It was just a phenomenal. I mean, look, that was 7 days of just opulence and being spoilt rotten. I mean, we went round. The treatment we got from a lot of the brands was just above and beyond anyhow.
Second to none.
But when you're sitting, you're standing in the warehouses of Dunville's, and Graham is drawing out samples, and we're going around with jugs filling the glasses with people, and we're then sitting eating food and listening to a band up with the stills around us. You've commented that it'd be a hell of a wedding venue.
It'd be fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic wedding venue.
If you ever get a chance to go up and do a tour in Dunville, do.
They're doing. I've noticed that they've started doing.
Ecklinville, sorry, my bad.
Ecklinville. Yeah, and
I'm
that's
just so used to saying Dunville's all morning.
Yeah. That and actually that's something I'm going to come to in a second. But they're doing, I think, is it this Saturday, or they were doing it last Saturday, that you could be on site, go and do a tasting up there with them. I think there was a chocolate pairing or something like that with them as well. I see Indie Foodies going up there as well. There's a few brands going to it, because again, it's the single farm estate story that they're selling, that they're not selling, that they're actually delivering on as well. That's going to stand to them as well.
And
the Ecklinville thing
up there
is a bit of a weird one. I mean, they've been blessed in that they've a few other brands that's been able to pay the bills. They haven't rushed their own distillate to market. That's one of the things that the Dunvilles, I mean, the guys have talked about, the Dunvilles was always going to be a sourced brand. So they buy the whiskey elsewhere, they bring it into the maturation warehouse, finish it, tweak it, and then release it under the Dunvilles brand. But the Ecklinville story is going to be something else. I mean, that's their own farm. All the barley and everything comes from around the area, from Shane's farm and from the Jarlett's family's farm and all that surrounding the place. And then they're distilling that, and they're going to, malt it there themselves. They're going to mature it there themselves, distill it there themselves. It is literally going to be the Ecklinville story. But I wonder too is how that's going to translate with people. Will people automatically who are Dunville's fans, will they automatically migrate over to Ecklinville? Will they be a fan of Ecklinville as much? We've had little glimpses that I don't think have been officially confirmed, but I will tell you this. So the Old Comer, the 5-year-old Old Comer that they've released, has an amount of Ecklinville distillate. I believe the 1808 has an amount of Ecklinville distillate in it as well. So we've had sneak peeks of how good it could be. I've been lucky enough, and I think you have as well, and we were lucky enough as well with the whiskey bus to taste some of the distillate that is there for of their own Ecklinville distillate. it's going to be special. It really is going to be special. So I really hope.
I think people will, who are Dunville's fans, are going to like the Ecklinville. And I think it's because Ecklinville made it really, really, really clear from the very beginning that this was sourced liquid.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Ecklinville's going to be finishing all their sort of whiskies off in these tried and tested cask methods and all that sort of scenario.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah,
So
you're right, Katie. And that's
it's still going to have that DNA.
DNA, you're right. And that's, I mean, the knowledge that they've gained in, I mean, they've literally bypassed a lot of the new distilleries too, in that, you know, that experimentation of trying to find out what makes it work and where it'll, you know, when's the right time. And what we were talking about yesterday with the wine cask finishes, that, you know, make or break of a week. If you don't get it out of the barrel now, it'll be gone too far. They've lived that life. They've lived that life. And I mean, even, and I know from talking to Jarlath at times, there's been times when they just were literally on a knife edge where if it went a wee bit further, it was gone, or it was nearly they had to bring it back.
Sleeping because he wasn't sure.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Second guessing himself.
Yeah, second guessing themselves. And I mean, again, we talk about Jarlath a lot. The madness of it is, he's just the accountant up there. I mean, like, it's bizarre, but when you talk about people having passion for what they do,
wow, he does.
He literally, and he's worst. I mean, when me and him get together, it's like, who'll shut up first, because he's just so passionate about it. I mean, again, we've had him at a few tastings and all that, and you're sort of giving the microphone. The one we done last week in Limerick, and he took the microphone off me and he started talking. I'm going, how do we get the microphone back off him to try and shut him up? Because he exudes the history of it. He exudes the quality of the brand, and he just wants to tell everybody about it. And it's you can see why. The Old Comer one is a good one as well, because, as I say, it's another brand that they've released under. I mean, we have had some of the old Comer, and I think in this month's auction we have a bottle of the 30-year-old. I can't even see it. Lay my hands on it, but I have seen it. There's a bottle of the old 30-year-old Comer that was from the Old Comer distillery that was bottled at a later date. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's one of the big 36-year-old ones that are proper collectible piece as well.
Haven't seen it.
That's in this month's auction as well. But I mean, look, all I wanted to do today was, one, recognise the fact that what they've done is just fantastic. I mean, winning the best single malt, and then also winning the whiskey of the year. And when you think about it, they were so close in other years. I mean, I know last year Ali's single cask project for the Celtic cask, it won it last year. There's so many other good whiskies out there. I think that's why people recognise and register that the Irish Whiskey Awards is probably one of the, you know, the real awards to win. I mean, I don't mean real awards, I'm not dismissing other ones, but it's the Irish whiskey amongst its peers. You're at the award ceremony yourselves, you're sitting there amongst, you know, your peers, other distillers, other brand managers, other distillery owners, and it is, you know, it is genuinely a blind tasting thing. Celtic Whisky Shop put together a fantastic, you know, it's a fantastic organisational feat to be able to pull that off. It's all adjudicated and verified, that it makes sure that all the points are, you know, calculated correctly. They should let Jarlath do that. He's an accountant, he'd be able to write them down probably. I think there might be a wee bit of an issue there.
Yes,
exactly.
maybe a smidge.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you know, to win in the company of such other good whiskies, and there was loads of other whiskies that won fantastic awards. I know Sinead mentioned to me earlier on about the Lochrie, the Aquavita one, Jameson one. You know, there's so many other good whiskies
and
that won.
Congratulations to every one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we're going to be your loudest cheerleaders.
Oh,
I mean,
God, yeah.
You know, we love Dunville's, but we also love all Irish whiskey, and we're going to shout it from the rooftops. And anything we can do to try and get Irish whiskey in people's hands all over the world, we're doing. We're doing it as much as we possibly can. So if you want to give us more t-shirts so that I can wear them in the video, do you like that link? Ha, look at that. Subtle as hell. So if you want to give us t-shirts that I can wear in my videos and promote your brand to our international audience, send it to Anto Wears T-shirts at Irish Whiskey Auctions. There you go. Make sure they're jumbo sizes. Don't be giving me any skinny ones because they just, you know.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I don't want them showing off my muscles too much because then we'll get the wrong type of audience, you know. Or is that my OnlyFans page?
That's your
Anyhow,
OnlyFans page.
so that's it. Talking about Dunville's, celebrating it. Cool
We're
of us to
super
the lads.
delighted, and we love all you guys.
Yeah, we do.
do.
We do. No, we do. I mean, look, it's probably my bottle of choice when I'm sitting down and you've annoyed me. Not that you ever annoy me, Pat.
No,
You never
never.
annoyed me. But if I want to sit down and have some quiet me time in a dark room,
Rocking.
telling her to stop shouting at me, it's a bottle of Dunville's I have by my side. So there you go. We're back tomorrow, Thursday. I haven't a clue. I think Scotch and American. There's a few good few bottles in for that. And then on Friday we go live at 5. And our charity bottles, we have a couple of cracking charity bottles this month as well. So we're going to be talking about them. Until then,